Several automotive manufacturers make substantial investments so they can compete against other manufacturers in sports competitions. For example, Daimler invests around $200 million every year so that its Mercedes-AMG Petronas Motorsport team can take part in the Formula One Championship. However, there has been no systematic analysis of the return on investment in manufacturer teams. That's why a research team consisting of Yvonne van Everdingen from Rotterdam School of Management, Erasmus University, and Vijay Hariharan and Stefan Stremmersch from Erasmus School of Economics studied whether such investments do in fact lead to an increase in the company's innovation and sales. And they found a surprising result. Equipment manufacturers that are research intense rather than advertising intense have more to gain from competing in sports competitions.
Sport equipment manufacturers invest varying and large amounts to compete with their own teams in sport contests, and these teams achieve varying levels of success. These sport equipment manufacturers join these sports competitions for two reasons. First, they join these competitions for their unique branding and advertising opportunities. And second, they also want to develop and test new technologies that later on can be transferred to the commercial market. So these companies use these sport competitions for both innovation and branding. This made us want to investigate to what extent these sports equipment manufacturers gain positive outcomes for innovation, branding, or both, and to what extent these outcomes are contingent on the R&D and advertising spending by these manufacturers.
The research team created a new dataset to compare how much car manufacturers spent and how they performed in the Formula One World Championship between 2000 and 2015. The researchers also included data from manufacturers that didn't compete. To examine the effect that being involved in F1 had on the potential for innovation, the researchers added data from R&D spending and innovation performance, measured in terms of patent citations. They also obtained data about how much the manufacturers spent on advertising and how their sales performed to find out more about the branding potential of competing in Formula One.
We found that competing in F1 generates a significantly positive effect on innovation, but only for those car manufacturers that invest at least 3.8 billion on R&D every year, so companies like BMW and Honda. While most brands obtain positive branding returns, these returns are the largest among brands that have the lowest advertising, such as Ferrari and Jaguar. Therefore, car manufacturers do not need to complement competing in Formula One with a large advertising budget.
The researchers' findings may guide manufacturers as they consider the trade-offs between allocating budgets for competing in sports competitions, for R&D, and for advertising.